So yes, to elaborate on that story, I feel okay because I've had a couple of Vinos, and I'd like to tell you a story. And I always struggle to tell this story without crying. I always cry. Even when I'm talking to Graham or Sam or Ben, I cry when I tell this story. So I was arrested in Spain, and I hope someone from the Daily Mail is watching this. Of course, there'll be much younger people. They won't be Paul Dacre's people. They'll be all new blood. But after I was arrested in Spain and had my baby daughter, who was about 10 or 11 months old at the time, taken from me, because obviously it wasn't convenient for her to come with me at the time, my Sammy. The police cells were just absolutely awful. They were awful, and I was taken to Marbella police station, and then I was taken to Fuengirola, and then I was taken to Torremolinos, and then eventually I went to the prison in Malaga, Alarin. And when I went into the association hall, after we'd been there for a night, and I went in, I'd asked for a phone call, and they said, later, luego. So I said, okay, being British, I was polite, okay. And then it was a later association, and I didn't get my phone call, and they said luego, which means later. And then it went on, and then we went to bed, and then the next day, I was in there about 3 days, and I kept saying phone call, luego, later. And I was very anxious to talk to Graham and find out if Sammy was all right, my baby. And in the end, they just wouldn't give me a phone call. So I went into the association hall, and I sat down at a table, and I was attacked. It's not your table. No, it's very territorial. It's our table. It's our table. Don't sit here. So I got up and I sat at another table, and I got the same thing. It's not your table. Not your table. You're not our group. So in the end, I just got a chair and I dragged it into the middle of the association hall, and I sat down, and in my left hand I had a photograph of Samantha as a baby, and in my right hand I had my phone card. And these people have been so horrible and said, fuck off, you can't sit at our table, who do you think you are? And I did a proper meltdown. Anyway, this woman come over to me, Spanish woman, and I wasn't fluent in Spanish then, and she started shouting at me, and she was very aggressive, and she looked very aggressive, and she grabbed my left hand with the picture of my daughter, and she grabbed my right hand with the picture of the phone card. And I thought, well, that's it, I'm done for. I thought, I don't care. Everything. I'm not going to cry or get emotional over this one. That's why I'm choosing this moment to tell this story. I thought, I'm not going to get emotional about it, telling the story, but I was emotional at the time. And she really ragged my wrist, and she took the picture of my daughter out of my hand, ripped it out of my hand, and ripped the phone card out of my other hand. And I just burst into tears. I just thought, oh, for God's sake, I'm carrying the can for 2 other people two blokes, right? They're fellas, they're men, hiding behind my skirts. I thought, well, this is as low as it gets. Anyway, this girl, she went fucking mental. I'm sorry if anyone doesn't like swearing, then don't flick on, as Drop Bear would say. And the telephone was in a cage, like a floor-to-ceiling type bars. And she mounted these bars like a monkey, and she shook, and other people, they started to upend chairs, tables. The whole association area was shouting, going absolutely bloody crazy. And I thought, oh, brilliant, she just stole my phone card. She's got a phone card, you know, she's taken the picture of my daughter. Can't get any worse. Eventually the screws panicked and they opened the electronic door of the floor to ceiling bars. And she was literally like a monkey. She was she was on it. And when they opened it, the whole association went quiet. And she stood down. I'm not going to cry. Yes, I probably am. And she curtsied and said, have your phone call. Call your daughter. How judgmental was I against all those women in prison? They did all that. They did like a mini riot to get my phone call. And my God, what a difference it made. God bless that woman wherever she is. I cannot tell this story without crying. It was just so magnificent. And she held out the picture of my daughter, and she held out my phone card, and it was the screws who said, you have 11 seconds to talk. And they held their word. I had 11 seconds. I said, Graham, oh my God, I'm going to fight this extradition. And he said, yes, fight it. They literally gave me 11 seconds. But I love that woman to this day. She is in my heart. And I can't tell that story without crying. Daily Mail did everything they could to separate us as a family. My ex-boyfriend did everything he could. That's what shitty character is about. Real character is people who stand up against. Doesn't matter if they come in nice packaging, bad packaging. It is about a measure of character. And that's probably just about enough from me for tonight.